And hey, I wanted to do a little teeny little video on touching on parental alienation. I haven't done this in a while, and I don't really do these anymore because I really don't even think about my own situation too much anymore. I just let it pretty much go. I mean, I have my little spurts and little teeny little moments and whatnot. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like overall it is what it is. But I just wanted to reach out to people and just let them know, like parents that go through this. I mean, not too much to kids, but I'm more so speaking to the parents. I know what it's like to just give and give and give and just get sucked dry. Whether it be financially or like reaching out to your kid, whether it be on Facebook or just trying to reach out to them some sort of way, and like all you do is reach out and give, and when you don't get anything back, it kind of sucks you dry. It doesn't mean that you don't love your kid, it just means it sucks you dry. It's kind of like if it doesn't rain for a while, the grass turns parchy, or it's kind of like you're sipping on a glass of lemonade. Eventually, that lemonade is gonna be gone, and you're gonna be like you're kind of like sucking the bottom of the glass. A car, will only take you from point A to point B for so long, and then you're gonna have to fill the gas tank. So, we love our kids. It's just like eventually, if you keep giving, it's human nature to just get sucked dry. You don't want to be sucked dry. It just happens after a while. You become dry. You go off for a jog. Eventually, you're gonna sweat and you have to get a drink. It's if so I don't need to go on with like examples, but I'm just saying I know what it's like, and anybody who might watch this video, you know um don't feel guilty for feeling that way. You're a human being. Don't ever let anybody make you feel guilty or feel bad for being sucked dry, because it's normal. If, let's say, you're in a marriage and you're in a relationship with that, it could be a friendship, it could be a boyfriend girlfriend, it could be a parent child, it could be any type of relationship. If all as you do is reach out and 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 reach out, and you don't get too much in return, like let's say you're given like 90 something to 100%, and the only or let's say you're given 100% and the other person for whatever reason is only given like 1 or 2%. I mean, look, children in this position, it's not really their fault. Like, you don't really know what it's like to be in their circumstance. So you really have to have, even though you're sucked dry, you really have to come to the grips with the fact that you don't know their situation over there. The situation from your standpoint. See, the thing is when it comes to goofball situations like this, you have two people within the same situation, but they take different positions within that same situation. You're the parent, and you're dealing with your end of the situation. Well, then you have your kid or kids that are dealing with the same thing, but they're dealing with it, from a different angle and a different way. They don't know what it's like for you. They'll never know, hopefully. And just like you'll never know, hopefully you haven't gone through what they're currently going through. You can't blame them. It's not their fault. I mean, yes, kids should always respect their parents. When a kid gets to a certain age, if they're gonna be bratty to you, and you didn't do anything wrong to them, well, that's on them. That's something that they're gonna have to deal with by themselves. There's no, just because a certain situation is not their fault gives them no way at all to be disrespectful to a parent. Kids should respect their parents. As long as the parents are respecting the kids, kids should respect their parents. You know, I mean, kids should always respect their parents, but if parents are going to mistreat their kids, and then their kids should go report it, and their parents should probably have to pay some kind of consequence, because kids shouldn't have to put up with crap either from parents. But at the same time, if a parent is innocent, and the kid wants to lash out at you, which the reason I say that, it's not happening in my situation, but in these sort of situations, it happens all the time, and I feel for those parents. You know, it's dude, like at a certain point in time, your kid has to be held responsible. But at the same time, just keep that ground where you just know that they're in a goofball situation. They're in a situation where it's real, like they kind of have to, it's not just a normal divorce situation where the kid has to, go bounce from home to home. No, I mean this is beyond that. So, you know, just look at the kid in, whatever son or daughter. Look at your child and just respect the fact that they're in a goofball situation. You can't look at them and just, you know, um, so just try to be level-headed about where they're at. Even if they're not being level-headed, about where you're at, just understand that, they're, you know, living with a parent that is, for some reason, I don't know, is lashing out at you. Um, and if it's a legitimate parental alienation case, well, you didn't do anything wrong, period. And if you did, I mean, nothing warrants this. But I just wanted to make a video, just to, you know, um, just to let you know that it's it's okay to feel sucked dry, and at that point, do what you feel is necessary. But just know that, the best way to do it is to put it in God's hands. Put it in God's hands. Just go with the flow, put it in God's hands, and whatever happens, happens. Because at the end of the day, whatever is going to happen regardless. So what's the point of, you know, at that point you're basically jumping at your own shadow, because you can't stop. When the sun comes out, you're going to have a shadow. So you could either sit there and look at it and jump at it every 2 seconds, or just ignore it, not even look at it. It doesn't mean that you have to deny that it's there. It's just it's a shadow. It ain't going nowhere, man. It's like the same thing with this situation. The result is going to be the result regardless. So just, you don't have to agree with it, but it is what it is. Just leave it in God's hands. And just pray to God and just say, hey, look, God is a just God. He sees everything that goes on. He's not going to sit there and let someone, do this to you, whether it's in this life or the next. Because the funny thing is we all have to stand before the same God, you know. So just leave it in His hands. God sees everything. Trust me. Even if people make mistakes every day, your kid might not know the difference. You know, this is a corrupt world that we live in. People are limited. People are lied to. People are blinded by, the mother versus father versus this one versus that one versus, I mean, in this world, you can get away with killing somebody if you have enough money to throw at the system. It's a corrupt world we live in, man. Come on now. Really, you can get away with raping somebody if you're famous enough or you have enough money, and, come on now. I mean, really, it's crazy. Um, you know, so that's my point is it's a corrupt world. So, I just, again, just want to make a video just to say, look, I know what it's, you keep giving and giving and giving, the well runs dry. So it's okay to feel that way. But at that point, like I said, the best thing you do is just leave it in God's hands and just be at peace with it. I know it's kind of hard to be at peace with a situation like this, but really, I mean, like what are you gonna do? You can't do anything. So it is what it is. So I mean, that's basically where I'm at. I'm just like, okay, like, doors open, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I have my little teeny little moments here and there, but it's not like at all like it was. I mean, it's a goofball situation, so I took it for what it is, and it is what it is. But at the same time, personally, I feel sucked dry. I really, really do feel sucked dry. It's not my kid's fault, but I still do feel sucked dry because, I started in 2013, like, reaching out on a daily basis multiple times, for close to a year. And then I kind of, like, something happened, and then I just kind of fell off from doing that. So, like, and whatever else. So I know what it's like to kind of sort of, feel sucked dry after a while. And it happens. It happens, and so, I mean, I'm not mad at my kid, but it can be frustrating to just, go through this sort of thing and just give and give and give and give, and it's like, you know, your ex, you know, just keeps taking and taking and taking and taking your money, and it's just like you don't get anything back in return. And then you try to reach out to your kid after your ex just sucks you dry, so you try to reach out to your kid, and then, you know, you feel sucked dry by your kid too. So it's just like, you know, you're stuck between, it's like no matter where you go, the well runs dry, and it just gets it gets frustrating after a while. So it's, you know, I understand. That's basically the point of this video, is just to make the point, you know, is just to let you know that you have somebody out here who, you know, relates to you. So if you need to talk or whatever, I can give you my Gmail address, because, you know, I'm an understanding person. I don't know you, you don't know me, but, you know, if you want to have a personal conversation or whatever, you can definitely hit me up with a comment, and I could throw you my Gmail or something, or even, I don't know, maybe my email or something, my Yahoo or something, and we could do it that way or whatever. Whatever makes you feel comfortable. Maybe no one will see this video, I don't know, but if somebody does, you know, you want to talk, hit me up.